For the second event of the 5-regatta season, the 2023 52 Super Series continues competition this week in Tuscany as the beautiful, modern, purpose-built Marina di Scarlino hosts the 52 Super Series Scarlino Sailing Week. Provezza comes to Tuscany with a 6 points lead on the overall standings, but after 8 races so far only 11 points are between the top 7 boats.
For the second regatta of the 2023 season, the 52 Super Series comes back to beautiful Scarlino in Tuscany. We have 11 boats racing from 7 different nations, and Provezza, winners in Saint-Tropez, are back on form, but can they win once again in Tuscany? So the first race starts, 6 to 9 knots of breeze, the wind axis is 265, nice sea breeze conditions, flat water, good start for Platoon and Allegri. The top right pays and it's Vayu leading with Sled second and Paprec third. Platoon understand the ley line, as do Allegri, both have to take penalties. Sled move clear on the downwind. The first race win is for Sled, Paprec are second, Vayu third and Phoenix fourth.
Coming out of the water with 1 and 5 is a super day, so we are very happy about it.
And like clockwork, race 2 went away in the same breeze, 9 knots of wind strength though. Phoenix make a good start and lead at the top mark with Quantum Racing in second. Quantum Racing take the lead going down the run, they go out to the right, find more wind pressure. Provezza are good on the second run and the beat, they get up to second. Through the finish line it's Quantum Racing, Provezza in second, Phoenix, Platoon. So Quantum Racing lead the regatta but only on count back from Sled.
Yeah, today we were missing our tactician, John. That made it very challenging for us. Harry got us out of some tough situations that I put us in, and we ended up having a good day, so we're happy.
So after 2 races, Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, lead on 6 points. Sled are second, also on 6 points. Phoenix are third on 7 points.
This is the weekly sailing highlights show, The World on Water, week ended June 2, 2023. The magnificent sail training ship the Amerigo Vespucci from Italy's Navy is the backdrop to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, testing in their home waters in Cagliari.
Max Sirena, team principal here, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Max, today seemed an historical event to mirror what happened in Auckland. Wow.
Yeah, it was a quite emotional day. I mean, last time we met the Amerigo Vespucci in the water was in Auckland 20 years ago. So again, it was an important moment for, especially for the one that were there 20 years ago, which is me and Matteo Plazzi, I think, and also it was different to see Luna Rossa, the prototype, from the deck of the Amerigo Vespucci. No, was I mean, when it was going by the bow or the stern of the boat, it was quite emotional to see the faces of the people, or the guy, or the young guy on board of the Nave Vespucci. So it's a quite unique moment, which doesn't happen often in life. So I mean, at the moment, I think Amerigo Vespucci is worldwide known as one of the most beautiful sailing school of the Italian Navy. Luna Rossa is becoming more and more popular, and thanks to you guys as well. And so I think seeing 2, let's say, famous Italian flagship in the same space of water in front of the city of Cagliari was beautiful.
Max, I will jump to what is the plan of the upcoming week?
Well, obviously we are getting close now to important decision for the team, and I guess all the other team are more or less in the same situation. We're going to keep going with our development. We're going to sail for sure the AC40 again before moving to Barcelona sailing section. So it's going to be an ongoing process and development process until until we don't have to sign off all the last component of the boat.
And before you guys move to Barcelona, is there any two-boat testing plan, or will it be simply easier with just one?
I think it's a question we ask ourselves more or less every single day, and it's not decided yet. We may, but at the moment we didn't make the final decision.
And Max, what will it take to win the America's Cup from Emirates in New Zealand this Cup?
Well, you just need a faster boat than them. But before get to the final, you have to be the other guy. So it's not going to be easy. I think all the team, they're going to be super strong. Everyone will have 2 helmsmen this time. So I think match race is going to be even more important than last time. So at the end, in the Cup, you're going to win if you have a fast boat. And obviously you need a good crew, good helmsman, good flight controller, trimmer and so on, but more important, you need a fast boat.
Max, un commento per i tifosi di Luna Rossa?
Oggi è stata una giornata speciale per il team. L'ultima volta ci eravamo incrociati in mare con l'Amerigo Vespucci, era a Auckland 20 anni fa, quindi averla qui nelle acque antistanti il porto di Cagliari, la città di Cagliari come background è stato fantastico, un'emozione molto forte, soprattutto per alcuni di noi che erano presenti anche nella prima foto, che ormai è famosa in tutto il mondo. Oggi c'erano tante persone a bordo, e vedere Luna Rossa navigare passando davanti alla prua o alla poppa della Vespucci, e vedere l'espressione degli ufficiali, ma anche dei marinai che stanno facendo il corso sulla Vespucci era emozionante. Quindi è una giornata importante per noi che ci porteremo dentro di noi per tanto tempo, ed è stato anche un po' un saluto e un inculo alla balena reciproco, perché alla fine noi ci siamo nella fase finale a preparazione per la prossima Coppa America. L'Amerigo Vespucci farà un giro del mondo, durerà 3 anni, quindi sarà una bella avventura per entrambi.
Grazie Max.
Grazie a voi.
2 clear starts under a black flag, 24 teams racing in the most amazing conditions. Blue sky, 12 knots of wind in crystal clear water. Grant Gordon helming GBR 820 leads after recording a 2nd and 4th place. Close behind is POR 90 Michael Zankel, and in 3rd position is the late Queen of England's Blue Bottle GBR 192 helmed by Graham Bailey. It was the most beautiful day for all 24 teams. Bodrum truly delivered.
We're here in Bodrum, we're very happy to be here.
It's a fantastic venue. We have the best sailors in the world here.
Bodrum is a fabulous place. Everything is close.
You can go and see the historical places, the museum, and the biggest castle around, which is called the Bodrum Castle, started to be built in 1400s by the Maltese Knights.
Greater number of excellent competitors. We believe around 8 boats are in contention, and anyone could actually win.
We are Sailing Only Media. Please subscribe, share, like, and check the alerts bell. Top Sailing Administrator, Tom Ehrman, who has the live bi-weekly sailing video program, Sailing Illustrated, commented on the latest on the New York Yacht Club's request not to be included in the America's Cup regatta in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for security concerns. The arbiter panel's decision is in, and Tom gives us the latest.
New York Yacht Club, remember, they filed with the AC-37 arbitration panel. They asked to be excused from that Jeddah regatta. We reported that as a one heres, and then it broke officially in the news down in Auckland. And we covered that when Duncan Johnstone on stuff.co.nz filed this article, America's Cup. American Magic refuse to sail Saudi Arabia regatta, which is true. They do not want to go. Indeed, I'm told they will not go. And when we told you that this had been handed to the arbitration panel, the jury, so to speak, the prediction was they would not make a decision. They did not want to handle this hot potato, right, Julia? That was our prediction, and it's true. Because as we predicted, the arbitration panel has tossed that hot potato to the challenger of record defender, saying it's their decision, which is true under the protocol. I'd give our panel full marks. I almost made them winners of the day, in fact. Challenger of record / defender, which is, of course, the defender's Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, technically, but it's Grant Dalton. And the challenger of record is the Royal Yacht Squadron, which is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, DBA, the Royal Yacht Squadron Limited, their racing arm. And this hot potato, and well and truly, has been tossed back to them by the ARB panel saying, you guys decide this. You decide whether you're going to let New York Yacht Club American Magic out of this or not. And here was the actual formality of the decision as reported today by Richard Gladwell, sail-world.com is their new, well, fairly new URL. Headline, America's Cup. Our panel dismisses American Magic request to be excused from the Jeddah regatta. The three-man ARB panel has dismissed the application to be excused from participation in that regatta. The second for AC-41 design yachts is to be sailed in Jeddah in KSA, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, from November 30th to December 3rd, between the 6 teams entered in the 2024 America's Cup, which, of course, is to be sailed in Barcelona. Now, there is the ARB panel, all three of whom I think are involved in the Cup these days because of either Hamish Ross and or myself, putting them into various positions where they have now. And they're bright guys. And Julie, didn't you say the chairman, David Tillett, there in the middle, has actually stayed here at the Beach Street Yacht Club?
Yes, he has, several times, actually.
When he was judging at a regatta at St. Francis?
His debut as a judge was here.
Well, maybe he's an IJ, as an international judge.
Yeah.
He would have been judging in Australia. And I've known him for a long, long time, as well as both those guys, Brian Willis and Graham. On the
super guy.
Yeah. And should the application be excused from, so here's what they said. Should the application to be excused from participation fail at both Challenger of Record Defender and the ARB panel level, meaning they go back to CORD, and if CORD, who already filed in this procedure, they filed papers saying, we're opposed to them being excused. So presumably CORD is not going to excuse them. So you go several steps ahead in this chess game. And they've also said in their ruling, if then American Magic goes back to the ARB panel again and fails again at the ARB panel, and American Magic decides not to participate in Jeddah, then the Challenger of Record Defender can make an application to the ARB panel for penalties to be applied. In other words, our panel is going to decide, not CORD, which means if ultimately New York Yacht Club American Magic decide not to go to Jeddah, these guys might just smack their hands. They might not take any points away from them. They're certainly not going to kick them out of the regatta. I guarantee you, which they could do under the rules. They're not going to do that. So their actual ruling, equally article, I'm not even going to read all this. It's just what I just said. What is appropriate is within the panel's discretion, they noted in their ruling. So a nice photo. And here, though, it is where it got interesting. They're taking a swipe at the Kiwi media. On the 16th of May, we've been telling you, by way of one heres for a long time. We heard it had gone to the ARB panel, then we told you we'd heard that New York Yacht Club Well, I didn't tell you the decision because I didn't know the decision until it came out today.
Yeah.
On the 16th of May, it came to the attention of the panel that there may have been a breach of the confidentiality obligation provided for in the protocol. So then they're trying to find out who spilled the beans. They requested each team, including the Challenger record defender, to investigate whether the leak to the media had come from within their team. Each replied individually to the ARB panel denying that any of their team members had communicated with the bloody media.
Mm-hmm.
And this breach is of significant concern. This is a quote from the decision. An entire copy of the application, which I haven't seen, by the way, has been disclosed to the media whilst these proceedings were continuing. It appears to be a blatant breach of the protocol, likely intended to cause effect to the Challenger record defender. It could have been the Challenger record defender themselves who breached that, who gave it to the Kiwi media. But who knows? Who cares? All competitors have denied any such breach. If such a breach occurs in the future, the panel gives notice that it intends to take more significant, stringent steps. And the last sentence there, American Magic was ordered to pay costs of this proceeding of 14,500 euros. Now, this is not the first time the panel has sent something like that out, because it's not the first time, nor is it the last time that this stuff will be leaked. This whole secrecy stuff is a madness. Trying to keep this stuff secret is completely mad. They should all be public. It should be on the website, and let people read it, draw their own conclusions, see what the replies are. That's the way it used to be, and it made a lot more sense. You didn't have the silliness, the secrecy rules. I mean, excuse me. I'd make that rule the loser of the day, but I won't tell you who put that rule in originally. You know who put it in originally?
Mm-mm.
Russell.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Helois Pegari overcame the odds to win a last-gasp gold in Torre Grande. The French rider becomes the Formula Kite Youth European champion alongside Italy's Riccardo Pianosi, who won the boys' title in the under-21 fleet.
Helois Pegari overcame the odds to win a last-gasp gold in Torre Grande. In a three-way battle between the French rider and her two Polish rivals, Pegari had it all to do on the final downwind leg. Magda Wojciechowska, Julia Damasovic were locked in a match race for gold, but the French rider found an extra gear to edge in front by the bottom of the course. Pegari crossed the finish line in front, and once victory was absolutely confirmed, celebrated the proudest day in her young career. In the boys' fleet, Qubin Huang had dominated racing all week, but the Chinese rider couldn't quite bring his A game for the switch to the four-rider finals format. Riccardo Pianosi won 2 races, enough to lift the Italian to the top of the podium and take a well-deserved gold in the boys' fleet. All week we've been blessed with great weather and world-class racing. Torre Grande has delivered yet again, and we can't wait to be back next year.
The days are long out in Palma for Ineos Britannia at the moment, as the team pushes on with a relentless commitment to progression and improvement in all areas of the boat and sailing techniques. Everything is captured, and on a day where it was very much dictated by specific design tests, T6 was pushed into uncomfortable pitches and ride heights early in the session as the team seeks the corner cases to thoroughly test out the new starboard anhedral foil.
Ben Cornish, it's Friday, end of the week. You were helming on the port side of T6 today. A bit of a late start because it didn't look like the weather was going to cooperate, but in the end, some great conditions.
Yeah, I mean, a funny week of weather really here in Palma. There's been a few thunderstorms kicking around, which essentially terminated our day yesterday, and today we ended up with a really good day of breeze out there. So, I mean, as good as Fridays get, I reckon, for this sailing.
So you have an interesting role with the team. You do lots of cycling as a cyclor, but you're also helming the boat. That must be quite unusual across the America's Cup teams. How's that come about?
Yeah, I guess it's probably a fairly unique role. How's it come about? I guess in the last campaign I did a lot of the sailing on the simulator, accumulated a lot of hours, and then Any days in Giles's absence, I would step into his role in the last cup. Obviously, he was doing his Olympic campaign, so I guess this time round it's more of a natural progression to slot into that spare role as and when it's needed.
Are you there as a backstop if there is a problem with one of the helmsmen during the cup?
I mean, it's more really for this sort of stuff. Obviously, we're trying to get so many hours. We've got people in different places doing this, and Sail GP, it's a busy schedule. So, I mean, you need your squad to have the depth, and you can't afford to miss days like this because you don't have the people. So,
you're probably in a good position to comment on how T6 has changed over the time we've been here in Palma, because you've kind of slotted in at various times. Have you noticed a big change?
Yeah, I mean, well, the changes have effectively been endless. From the physical ones you can see, and then obviously the ones you can't see, and we probably wouldn't talk about. But yeah, the progression's been phenomenal, and at times for me, coming in and out of the role is a thing of keeping up with that. You know, if you don't see me for 2 or 3 weeks, and then to step back on and try and get your head around, right, what has changed here.
We had a 5th person on board today. Who was that? They were in the kind of observer role?
Yeah, that was bled in on the back today.
Why does the team do that?
You know, similar reason to I said, you know, upskilling people in wider positions, and as you know, we're not going to be racing the cup with 4 sailors. It's going to require 8 people on the yacht, so you know, the more time each individual can get, the better at this stage.
We've seen a lot of GoPros on the boat pointing at the sails. Are the sails a particular focus right now?
I'd say every part of the boat is a serious focus, and between different departments, you know, things are progressing constantly, so you know, no day goes wasted by any area of the team, that's for sure.
As a sailor, how do you slot in to all of the kind of technical design side of it? How do you give your feedback?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're very structured with how we brief days and debrief days, and you know, alongside that, we're constantly giving feedback on the water. So as the tests are evolving, you know, people are making note of the feedback at the time, and anything that gets missed, we deliver later in the day.
That's fantastic. A good week here in Palma, and hopefully a good weekend.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you.
Dame Ellen MacArthur celebrates 20 years of the Ellen MacArthur Cancer Trust in this message to all the round the island race competitors.
Thank you so much to all the sailors in the Round the Island race for supporting the Trust this year. It's a special year for us. This is our 20th year, and it's a special year to be the official charity partner of the race. I can't believe it's 20 years since we took those first 5 young people sailing with the Trust, and now we work with almost 2,900 young people who've all experienced the magic of the Trust. I have wonderful memories of the Round the Island race. My first participation was in 1997 on a mini transat boat. I've since raced all my big race boats. The most memorable perhaps was winning line honours in an Extreme 40, but the most meaningful has been sailing with the young people of the Trust. I absolutely love it. I'll be sailing this year, and I can't wait to be on the water. So what are my race goals? To see 20 happy faces on the finish line, having raced the race and had the most wonderful time.
The 2023 Finn World Masters was finally opened Monday evening on the idyllic beach at NEA Itaklitsa, near Kavala, in Greece, and against the backdrop of the beautiful Gulf of Kavala. Earlier in the day, the opening race was held. The fleet was held ashore until just after midday, and while there was a good breeze on shore, it was still building on the race area. British Olympic sailing coach, John Emmett, was at the Weymouth Sailing Academy for the pre-regatta action in the 2023 Moth UK Open and World Championships. He spoke to local Hattie Rogers, who is lining up for the women's division.
Hi, well, I'm really pleased to be here with Hattie. We're at the Weymouth and Portland Sailing Academy. Can you tell us a bit about your background and what class you're sailing?
Yeah, so I'm a foiling sailor. I sailed the Wasp for 3 years previously, and now I'm sailing the Moth. I've been in the boat since kind of November, so it's all quite new, but yeah, really looking forward to the Moth Worlds in 2 weeks' time.
And we have, I've got to get it right now because I got it wrong earlier, we have the UK Open before that, but it looks like a lot of people have arrived early. And also the Wasp, was that good stepping stone?
Yeah, for sure. I think the Wasp is a great boat to start foiling in, and the One Design Racing is epic. And I'm going to continue Wasp sailing alongside my Moth stuff. I really love the Wasp stuff as well, but the Mothing is just another level for me, I think. But yeah.
I mean, it's a really high quality fleet, going to get around and chat to as many people as possible. But this isn't the only campaigning, you're doing lots of other exciting things this year.
Yeah, so we've got the Athena Pathway Programme stuff all kicking off. I'm part of the ETF 26 squad, so we got a couple of events throughout the season, so I'll be on for the last few, which will be good.
And for people who don't know, just tell us a little bit about that, because it's, again, another very exciting project.
Yeah, so the project and programme is led by Hannah Mills and Ben Ainsley, and it's basically aiming to defend the Youth America's Cup title and also compete in hopefully try and win the Women's America's Cup as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's another, it's been a long time coming. I'm glad it's there. The Moths, it's a really special boat. I mean, I find it amazing to think that the Europe dinghy actually fits in the same box rule as the Moth. What's your prep been, and can you give us any inside tips for runners and riders?
Sure. So, I've been in Palma since January, so I spent 4 months down there. I started full-time sailing last summer, so
a very good decision.
After Southampton uni, 4 years of engineering.
That's another very interesting thing. Just tell us your engineering project.
Well, I did the Moth Challenge last year, so we done a little bit of moth building, and that was a really good point to start at.
That's a sustainable moth, the Moth.
Yeah, exactly. So we competed at Foiling Week with our university team last year, and from then on, basically Foiling Week onwards, I've been full time. So it's been about a year full time. So
wow, time flies when you're having fun. And the build up for this event, I've seen you here nearly every day I've been down recently.
Yeah, we've tried to be out most days. The forecast and it's been great. I mean, sun's out, isn't it? Weymouth can be pretty interesting in May, but actually we've been really lucky this year. It's been great out most days. So I've been here like 3 weeks. I moved back from Palma, so basically trying to go sailing as much as possible.
Oh, good for you. Really lovely to talk to you. We'll be following you for the week, and lots more interviews to come.
Oh, great. Thanks for having me.